I got it! When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze...
1, 2, 3, 4!
I built a labyrinth. Can you believe it?
Dave is trapped in a cardboard maze in his living room and he can't get out.
Welcome to Dave Made a Minute, the podcast where a whole bunch of us are exploring the film Dave Made a Maze 1 minute at a time. The twist. Many of the participants have never seen the film. Some don't even know what film they're sampling. They get their minutes and they tackle them as they see fit. Here's your host from the Groundhog Day Project and Michael Myers Minute, Robert Black.
Minute 47, Dave's interview continues. To tackle Minute 47, we have Gary Roby of Harry Potter Minute and Cassandra Fredrickson of Lord of the Rings Minute.
You come home, there's a giant maze in your living room. You're like, what the? There's a giant maze in my living room. I've heard of people rearranging the furniture, but this is wackadoodle crazy. Give me a sense of that.
This doesn't make any sense.
Is that a problem? Did you promise to my segment? My solution's a problem.
It's like a fucking cocktail party in here.
If I get a few words from you before you go.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to Dave Made a Minute, the fan podcast overanalyzing the movie. I have the whole spiel that I do for Harry Potter Minute, and I want to just rattle it off, but that's not. I don't have it in front of me. Talking about Dave Made a Minute.
How about I don't know, Dave Made a Maze?
Loosely, very loosely talking about Dave Made a Minute.
Dave Made a Maze.
I'm Gary Roby from Harry Potter Minute.
And I'm Cassandra Fredrickson from Lord of the Rings Minute. And we have no idea what we're doing. Yeah.
Nope, not at all. It's a mess. It's a nightmare.
Fuck, man! It's a mystery! It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma!
I'm enjoying this, actually. I like recording with you, Cassandra, so whatever.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so we're talking about minute 47, so we get the end of this, not quite the end, but kind of wrapping up this conversation that he's having with the interviewer about feeling broken. There's a moment here, just because I have to, I didn't even think about it until we were just watching the minute before recording, but at the beginning of the minute here, he says, do you know what it means to be broke? It means you're broken, that you don't work. And the way he says it, it makes me think of this very specific episode of SpongeBob.
Oh my god.
In which Squidward gets fired from the Krusty Krab or something, and he's staying at SpongeBob's house, and SpongeBob's getting increasingly irritated that Squidward isn't working, that he's not looking for another job, he's not doing anything, he's just kind of mooching and making SpongeBob be his maid. And there's a moment where Squidward complains that the TV remote doesn't work, and he's like, well, that's two things in this house that don't work.
Two things that won't work!
And I love it.
Oh my god.
I don't know why that came into my head now, but there you go. There you go. I wonder if this guy has I wonder if Dave has a job. Or if he's just living with his girlfriend.
Because he talks in the last minute about having jobs that he hates.
Yeah, that's true. Jobs that he hates, that he had to beg for. And then he still has to borrow money from his parents or something. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm no longer working a job that I hate, but I've been there. I've been there more than I care to admit.
But I hate my job!
Oh, you hate your job? Oh my god, why don't you say so? No, there's a support group for that. It's called Everybody. They meet at the bar.
At this point, well, I don't know if I've gotten to that point yet. I am, recently unemployed. And so I'm just oh, yeah, I think it's getting to the point where I'm just I'd rather have a job I hate than no job.
That's fair. I understand. I have the tendency, when I have a job that's providing me income, it just becomes so easy to be well, I don't have to, why bother looking for something better? I'm making a paycheck. And so I stay at places for so much longer than I need to. Before I started working at the bookstore I worked for, I worked at a movie theater. I think I worked at that movie theater for 8.5 years.
Holy crap.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I started it not long after high school. And I did a bunch of different things. I had a bunch of different positions while I was there, but it was still just the same job for far longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got out of there.
Well, that looks good on your resume, at least.
That's true. Like, yeah, I'm loyal. I stay places. I just got stuck. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I worked with good people.
Well,
Working in a movie theater's fun.
There's a difference between, like, loyalty and, like, getting stuck.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're totally right. There were definitely periods where I, like, had looked for other things, or, like, I had been doing something else, like, on the side, and the theater was just sort of, like, the consistent, well, if this other thing doesn't pan out, then I still have the movies.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a very great day when I put in my 2 weeks notice there. But, you know, it was a whole thing.
It's a new chapter. I mean, that's almost a decade. That's crazy.
Yeah, totally. I worked there for far too long. It's one of those things where, like, it's a summer job for people, like, fresh out of high school, and then I'm just like I've been there. The mainstay for an absurd amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've even been back since I left.
Well, that's good.
Which is, yeah, it's
I'm sure there are, like, cheaper movie theaters.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I didn't even talk about it when we were doing Scott Pilgrim in it, but, like, I got to go see Scott Pilgrim in a movie theater again recently, and I think I only paid like $6 for my ticket, and it was
nice,
great. There's something fun about, there's a little, like, indie cinema here in town that does, I think all they play are, like, movies that have long since been out of the theater. So, like, coming up pretty soon, they're doing Jurassic Park, and they did Beetlejuice for Halloween, and
that's
like
fun.
Stuff like that. Yeah, it's really cool. Shout outs to the Ken Cinema in San Diego. It's a good time. But I haven't seen anything new since I left the theater. I think the last movie I watched was Solo.
I didn't even see Solo.
What
is the last movie I watched?
Like in a theater.
Oh my god. I want to say I saw movies this summer. Like, come on, Cassandra. Get
Infinity
your shit
War?
together.
Black Panther was in, like, March. That was too far away. Infinity War is, like, June?
I think I saw... No, Infinity War was April. I saw Infinity War.
Yeah.
I saw Ocean's 8.
Oh, I wanted to see that, and I didn't end up seeing
fun.
it. You guys did a review thing for that on the Dueling Genre Patreon, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
That was cool, because it was all ladies.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go. I'll have to see it and then go check that out.
Is that the last movie I saw? No way. That's crazy. I'm busy, that podcast life.
Right? I get you.
So, in my time being eaten by the maze,
yeah, I'm glad you're back.
I had time to reflect, and I was like, why don't I like this guy? Uh-huh. And he so succinctly explains in this minute, like,
okay,
he's a spineless asshole, and I don't like him.
I know. He tells them, like, please, for God's sake, don't make me look like a spineless asshole. It's like, buddy.
And I'm not angry. I'm fucking furious. But don't make me seem angry. Or spineless, please.
Oh, no, of course not.
If God, for fuck's sake, do not make me look like a spineless asshole.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I love this moment when he yells, everyone are assholes. And the interviewer's like, is. And then he goes, everyone is assholes. And he's like, no, I don't like that. It's really good. I don't know what's correct. Is it everyone is assholes? Everyone are assholes? Both of them sound wrong.
I don't know. Well, it's tough with the word everyone because it's like a singular plural.
Yeah, exactly.
The short, quick answer is they are singular. So, for example, everyone is happy today.
So my verbs are all messed up.
So are his.
This would be easier in a Latin language. Like a Latin-based language.
Mm-hmm.
And not the whatever we have that's English.
In today's minute and tomorrow's, I really like the interviewer, like, not even under his breath, but just, like, quietly correcting his grammar. Is. Like, no, it doesn't sound right. God, I don't know. I don't know. And then I like, so he goes on and he says, like, I built something because I wanted to build something. And if I could just finish it, I know that it could be great. Or it would be great, I think is what he says. But, like, as someone who, like, makes stuff, I get this, that sort of, like, you kind of hit a... Well, I mean, in his case, it's very different because, like, people have died, but, that idea... Yeah, just casually. People have died. But that desperation to be like, if I could just, like, get past this hump and, like, finish this thing I've been working on, it would be such a relief, you know? There's a real, like, struggle in that I think, like, anyone who, like, makes anything, whether it be podcasting or writing or art, like, just, I don't know, you hit a wall sometimes, and it's just, it feels insurmountable.
Yeah.
You want chips? Get up! You're going over that wall!
I kind of, like, I think I said this last time, but I kind of would really enjoy making, like, a cardboard fort like this.
Not one that kills people.
Not one that kills people. But I mean, if I'm going to build a labyrinth, what's a labyrinth without a minotaur, you know?
Do we see the minotaur in this movie?
Not in our minutes, but I'm pretty sure there is.
Like, you see
I
it?
do believe you see it in the movie. Let me see if I can find an image of it for you.
Okay, because I'm curious.
I think it's also cardboard, probably.
That's amazing.
Actually, I think it's a dude with, like, a cardboard, like, minotaur head. Is what it looks.
Man.
Is what
now,
it looks like.
Because you had me thinking about SpongeBob, and now
okay,
all I want is a minotaur that's like Doodle Bob.
Oh my god!
But he's made out of but he's made out of cardboard.
Yes. No, it looks like it's like a guy, like a big dude, and the head is, I think, cardboard. Let me find this. I'm gonna copy this link for you.
Because, like, I don't, like, I'm intrigued about this movie, but I don't know if I would, like, seek out this movie.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Especially if I don't.
Oh, that's a terrible link. I wonder if that works. Yeah, it kind of works. It's a link from Google to a person's Twitter account. I didn't realize it was going to be such a long URL.
I played a cardboard minotaur. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy
This
crap.
dude is huge.
Huh.
But yeah, so there's a minotaur. Like an actual minotaur.
I like that his like centurion skirt or his kilt is also made of cardboard. That's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll watch this movie.
Right? It's fun. I enjoy it. I'm gonna rewatch it. Like, after I'm done editing these minutes, I'll go back and watch the whole thing and be like, oh, there's so much stuff I should have talked about. That's okay. Dave's having a rough day.
Yes.
I think he says at the end of this minute, oh, there's another, just little subtle things. At the end of this minute when he says, like, and people may have died
for the people that
today,
died yesterday,
or yesterday.
or today. I don't
know what time it is. It's just, I get, like, yeah.
I know when we were talking off mic about like what I had done today.
Yes!
I'm just like, oh my god, I just lost like 5 hours of my life. I don't know what day it is.
What was I doing? What time is it? Where am I? No.
So I don't know. I relate to that. But it's not like in a scary way. Like, did you ever watch that show Hannibal?
No, I've heard it's amazing, but I've never watched it.
It is amazing. But there's like a part where the main character, not Hannibal.
Okay.
He's having like a mental breakdown, so like he loses like hours at a time. Like, and it's like really scary.
Sure.
So it's like, I was present for this, but like it had so little impact on my life, clearly, that I like don't even remember.
I feel like I've seen that done in media, especially in like TV or like movies. I can't think of a specific example off the top of my head, but just that like that idea of just like slippage, like you're doing something and then you have like a hard cut and all of a sudden they're like somewhere else at a different point in the day, and like both us, the audience, and the character don't know what happened in that gap.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
It is.
The idea of like blacking out like that, like I don't know. That'd be frightening. No,
but I think like I don't know if he's like he's experienced this because he's tired or like he's just been up for like 42 hours. Like
yeah, like I don't think he knows. God, I'm sure at the beginning they make a comment about like
done that in college too.
Yeah,
like
I think they make a comment about like how long he's been working on this at the beginning of it. But like at the beginning of the movie when everyone else joins him in the maze, it seems like it's early afternoon-ish maybe. Mm-hmm. Like the sun's still up outside, but now they've been in here for so long, like they've sort of lost track of time. That's the thing. They're like so insulated in this place, right? There aren't windows. They can't see like the progression of time. And so it just sort of stretches out into this long, unmanageable thing. Mm-hmm. Like, today, yesterday, like, I don't know what time it is.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. My apartment, the like living room and then the hallway that leads down to the bedrooms are like, there's like one little window out in the living room that we have like a curtain over. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll come home and it'll be like the middle of the day. I'll come home at like 3:00 in the afternoon and step into my apartment and close the door. And all of a sudden it's just so dark that I can't see anything. Or like my power went out. My power went out last week. And all of a sudden I was like, I literally can't find anything. I'm so glad my cell phone has a flashlight on it. Like just dark. Scary. I don't like it. Scary is the wrong word. Just like oppressive.
It's like it's disorienting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Especially like especially when the time change happens.
Yeah.
For, like,
I left
falling
work
back
earlier today and the sun was setting and I was like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like just changing clocks by an hour, like it feels like such a massive difference. Like during the summer, I feel like the sun sets 3 hours later, but the time didn't change that much. It's just a whole slew of things that affect it. Yeah. I don't even know. I'm curious. I would wonder like how late in the day it is actually and how long they've actually been trapped in here, but I don't think it's ever stated as far as I remember.
Do not know.
Yeah.
All I know is that he's angry.
He's angry. Ah! He screams.
Well, sorry, he's not angry. Can we swear on here?
Sure. Not angry. I don't see why not.
He's fucking furious.
It's good. It's good. But I think that yell he does is pretty good.
It's okay.
It's that like I've felt this emotion here. Just this like I have so much I want to get out right now, and I can't even put words to it.
Mm-hmm. And tertiary?
He says tertiary, trying to bring up his last point because he doesn't know the right word. And there's a cut where he says tertiary, and then the camera like looks to his friend, and his friend's looking at him like, I don't think that means what you think it means. Like, really good. And I guess I'll talk about it now. We'll get it tomorrow, but like, just again with the corrections from the director, from the interviewer being like tertiarily. As if he's gonna correct himself. Like when we first started this interview, the interviewer was like, "They're not gonna hear me, so you need to like speak in complete sentences." So he's like, "I'm not gonna restate what I just said. Please don't make me look angry." Or like an asshole. Or no, or spineless. I think it's spineless, right? Angry, spineless, or a spineless asshole. Okay.
You're doing that just fine yourself.
Yeah. You know, it'd be really interesting, like, as a secondary narrative, like, right now, we talked about earlier this week, the difference between the camera styles, like when we see what the interviewer's camera looks like when he's filming. It's got like a different grain to it. I would be really interested to watch this movie just through the interviewer's camera.
Like a found footage kind of thing?
Yeah. Like a secondary piece, just like because the rest of the movie has that sort of like omnipresent, like we're following everyone around deal. But yeah, I'm always really interested in like found footage stuff. Like I don't have a problem with that. I actually find it really interesting in media. But it'd be interesting to see like how that little documentary cuts together. Like you could probably do like a little 5-minute like here's what happened to them in the maze, and then here's the interview that we had with the creator of it.
Like a little news segment.
Yeah. And it'll be and you know what, I like me just being the way that I edit, like you know how in like it happens all the time in podcasts. You know, in podcasts, people are like, "Oh, like cut that out," and then that stuff's never cut out. Like it's like,
yeah,
like a meta. Like, oh, you asked me to do it, so I'm not gonna do it. I would leave in the bit with him asking, like, "Please, for God's sake, don't make me look like a spineless asshole."
Oh my god, you sadist!
I would. It's the worst. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm not sorry, Dave.
Nobody guessed on Gary's podcast.
Oh god, I do that all the time on Harry Potter Minute. No, sometimes I get like bummed. I cut as little as possible when I edit. Just because I find I personally, like as a podcaster and as like an editor, like or just like as a listener of podcasts, like I don't want it to feel like a produced show sort of thing. Like I love like pulling back that curtain as much as I can. So, like, we'll do, like, on Harry Potter Minute, at least on Season 2, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it, but on Season 2 of Harry Potter Minute, we did, I left in all the stuff before the intro, so, like, hitting record and then, like, being like, okay, are you guys ready? Like, the little banter that happens before, like, the show starts. I like using that stuff because it feels more like friends sitting around a table and not a show. Quote unquote.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I like that. I don't know. There's just something. I can't really put my finger on why. I don't know. Especially because like the Movies by Minutes community in particular has become like this weird sort of extended family. And so like.
Well, it's kind of like why people like behind the scenes stuff so much. Like it's seeing these people in like a different context than what you're used to.
Yeah, totally.
And there's like an intimacy and like a camaraderie to that.
There's a podcast that I really, really love called Friends at the Table. That's like an actual play. They do a bunch of like different RPG games. But on their Patreon feed for $1 a month, you can they do a show that's called the Clapcast. And it's basically like that moment when everyone's already hit record, but it's that moment where like they clap to sync up their audio tracks. And like just all the like other sort of distractions and things that happen within that couple minutes.
That's funny.
And they have a few episodes where like they start to record and then they just get off track. And it's like, you know what? I guess we're just doing this now. And so you just get like them like having just that like friends Googling shit on the internet and making each other laugh. And I love that so much. So I don't know. That's something that like I really like aspire to in like things that I work on. Kind of shedding the light on. Yeah. The madness that happens behind the curtain.
Well, even with like a really casual podcast like this, like there is still like the amount that you're able to cut from the conversation to like, I don't know. It's.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like a reflection of like how you want to present yourself.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I would say that like I know there's shows that I've listened to that have that like really overproduced sort of quality, and like that's fine if that's the show you want to do, but like I think for me, when I edit, I really strive to just have the most authentic, like, I'm not a professional podcaster. Like, I am just a fan who likes these things and wants to share my thoughts on it with other people. And I think that, like, by leaving a lot of that stuff in, it, I think invites other people to, like, join the conversation in a more natural way.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just like to make myself look good.
Yeah, there's definitely times when like I've said something that I've been like, that's just wrong, and I've just cut that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like Dave, like
Yeah.
Don't make me look like a spineless
asshole. Yeah, totally. Well, it's funny. I think Scott called me out on an episode of Scott Pilgrim Minute because it was like a batch of episodes that I was going to be editing, and like I think Nick was doing the introduction, and he like botched the intro like a couple of times over, and then like someone made a joke about it like mid-episode, and I was like, well, I'm gonna leave all of this now. But Scott had said at the beginning, like, be careful, Gary's gonna leave all this in, and I was like, we'll see. And I did. And it was fun. I don't mind. Guys, duelinggenre.com/support.
Who let this man have any power?
All the me, I just grabbed it. I was like, this is mine. I'm doing this now.
You madman.
Okay, I think that's everything I have for today. I think so.
Yeah, I was just so I was like, I want to like these minutes, but like, and I do, but I don't know why I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like the character, and then I was just like, oh yeah.
I think I just relate to him more than I want to.
Oh.
Just like, I've been there so many times. It's like, my least favorite Harry Potter book is Order of the Phoenix, and it's because I was an angsty teen when I read it, and Harry's an angsty teen in it, and I'm like, you're too much of a reflection of me, I can't stand this. I should revisit that. It's been a long time since I've reread that book, but that's like become one of my favorite of the Harry Potter movies, so we'll see.
I think that, like, I don't know, because we were talking about how, like, his struggle is relatable, but I think the one thing that would probably compel me to watch this movie, other than the Minotaur's abs, is
fair.
Is because we're kind of seeing him at his lowest point, or what I assume to be his lowest point. So I would be interested to see how he either chooses to react to it and get out of it, or just wallow in it.
Yeah, totally.
Hopefully the former, but whatever.
Yeah, this is definitely that part of, I don't know, 45 minutes. It feels early to happen, but like I definitely think that this is like the lowest point, right? Like that's what this feels like to me.
Interesting.
Where it's like everything, just all of it, so much has happened, and it's just weighing him down to the point that it's like, I need a moment before I can like pick myself back up and like make this right again.
It feels like the emotional equivalent of like the Dark Night of the Soul.
Yeah.
But I guess it is kind of early. I don't know how long this movie is.
I don't either, actually.
I don't know anything, you guys. I'm just here to talk.
It's an hour and 20 minutes. So we've only got like a half hour or so left after this. So yeah, this makes sense to happen here.
Yeah. So but still, it's like the midway point of the movie.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, kinda. It's like a little offset, but you're not wrong.
Unless like the actual, like, lowest point is, I don't know, like a combat scenario where he has to like fight the Minotaur.
That would be rad.
Like,
I don't remember
like,
that happening in this movie though. Maybe
it does.
Dang. Maybe it does. I don't remember. Like I said, I didn't rewatch this because everyone else came into this blind.
Yeah.
So
I think if it was like a physical threat instead of an emotional one, that would make sense for this to be here.
Sure.
But I don't know. We'll
yeah, I actually like. I don't know what you would classify as like the conflict of this movie. You know, like that's the like man versus nature, man versus environment, like whatever. Like I don't know where this movie fits into that framework, because like he made the maze, and the solution to escaping it is to like finish what he started, kind of deal, like is what I'm gathering from the context of this. Like I think he says like, if I could just finish it, I know it'd be great. Or like a couple minutes ago when he was saying that like they could finish it and defeat the Minotaur because it would just turn into cardboard, and then like, who's with me? And like everyone was silent, you know, like that. I think that this is a very internal struggle for Dave. Which I think the maze itself even is sort of a representation of that struggle. That, like...
Right.
I don't know how to find my way out of this depression I've sunk myself into.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
Word.
Uh-huh.
Calgon, take me away!
Okay, we've been talking for a half hour. I feel good. How do you feel?
Well, I have just as many questions as when I began, but that's fine.
I figured that would be the case. I appreciate you putting up with me and doing this.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I hope that it's, like, people like listening to us talk about, like, podcasting bullshit for most of the episode.
I'm sure that I deliberately like have put off listening to this until after we finished recording because I don't want to be like influenced by what other people discuss. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that 90% of these minutes are tangents.
If not, welcome to our brand.
Yeah, come check out the Dueling Genre shows.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of like our collective.
I think we do that. No, we literally, it's funny because, like, I've plugged it a couple times, but, like, we had someone comment about Scott Pilgrim in it, and their comment was, like, my favorite part of the show are the tangents, and just, like, I'd be super happy if you guys got to the point where, like, you only discuss the minute for a couple of, for like, the very beginning, and then just do whatever you want. And I was like, we kind of do that already.
That's kind of what we did here.
Yeah, pretty much. If you want more of the madness, you can find me at Harry Potter Minute on like I said, duelinggenre.com. Cass and I both do Scott Pilgrim Minute on our Patreon, duelinggenre.com/support. For only $1 a month, you can get all the tangents you could possibly imagine.
Right.
And then Cass, you do Lord of the Rings Minute, which is like personally one of my favorite movies by minute shows. I won't lie.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you and Norman are a delight.
If you want like 400 episodes of tangents,
yes,
we got you.
Yes. I'm finally caught up on other shows that I was listening to, so I'm like working my way through Two Towers, and like
still
I know you guys are still working through it, but like it
feels like this minute. It feels like if we can just finish the maze and defeat the Minotaur.
Yeah. Is Two Towers your longest? No, it's not your longest movie.
No,
the next one is, right?
Return of the King. Yeah,
that one's over 4 hours because you guys are doing extendeds.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I do not envy you. But like,
well, that one's my favorite, so it'll be a little better.
there's really good stuff in Return of the King.
I just don't like second acts, so like Two Towers is
that's funny. Like
difficult.
I definitely understand that, and then, but at the same time, like I think that Two Towers was always my favorite of the 3 movies. But I think it's because. Oh god, there's a couple different reasons. There's like things in the movie I love. Like I love Treebeard, I love Rohan, I love Helm's Deep, but it's like specific moments and not like, oh, Two Towers is a
right as a whole.
Yeah. So guys, come check out duelinggenre.com and listen to all the shows and yeah, come back tomorrow as we do minute 48. Of Dave Made a Maze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And then I could probably disarm all the traps, and then we can finish this maze. Who is with me?
That was Gary Roby of Harry Potter Minute and Cassandra Fredrickson of Lord of the Rings Minute taking on minute 47 of Dave Made a Maze. They will be back next time on Dave Made a Minute, taking on minute 48.
Thank you for listening to Dave Made a Minute. Intro dialogue snippets were taken from Dave Made a Maze, directed by Bill Watterson, written by Bill Watterson and Steve Sears, and produced by John Charles Meyer. Intro music is Diversion by The Equals, featured in the film Dave Made a Maze, and Life Cycle of a Match by Parvis Decree. Outro music is Leaving This Godforsaken Place and Her Presence is Strong Here by Parvis Decree. Dave Made a Minute is a production of Lemming Drop Studio and all other featured podcast producers. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Dave Made a Minute. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and review on your podcatcher of choice, and check out all of the participants' other shows to spread the love around. Again, thank you for listening.
As long as we're all working together, this is going to be fine. It's going to be great.
I need you to notify the families of everyone who died here today.
Totally. Wait, what?